Whew. All right, let's give people a second to get here. Um, that's weird. I changed the show title. Oh my God, hi Maple. Oh my God, hi. What's going on, people? Um, so let's give people what I wanted to talk about today. That's pretty funny. What I wanted to talk about today, hey Connor, is Owen's show over the last week and get ideas. I'm not hooking you up with Cat Tiff. Get ideas and feedback about your welcome because I don't really get feedback. Um, and then I guess I'll open for some questions. If and I wanted to thank um, Drew for sending me the pomegranates, which was really really awesome and absolutely creepy. I should change the name. The name still says 4 shows in 1 day. Let me save it right now. Talking Owen, you're welcome, and trolling. So let me talk about how do I. Let's hit enter. Is there a save here? I wonder if that change took. I guess we'll find out. Or not. It doesn't matter. Um, what triggers malice? Ooh, there's a list. So here, my rule with trolling is this. If you are, if you have a good idea for a troll for your friends, you should be able to tell them if you don't actually do it, and still get credit for it. And by the way, I want to thank Grant and Phil for their donations for the live stream. You guys are really generous and it's really cool. And again, this is something that is very surprising and flattering to me, that you're willing to just hand over hard-earned money just to encourage me to do what I do. I don't blame you for not paying for Compound Media. It's perfectly fine. So my friend Matt is a big fan of Owens, as many of you guys are, and he wanted to asked me to get him into the show, and the show was sold out. So I didn't want to bug Owen because Owen's venue got canceled at the last minute. And I know what that's like. Well, I don't know exactly what it's like, but I know it's traumatic and upsetting and you freaking out and it's a whole big Megillah. So I didn't want to bug Owen, but then Owen got the new venue. And I'm like, hey, can my friend Matt come? And Owen's like, sure. Matt came. It was great. So what I did is we took a break for dinner. And when I watch a show or I'm someone that I think is cool or I'm a fan of, what I always do is I'm always curious what they're like in real life, and that's the fun thing with like working with celebrities, being on TV. You get to see these people when the masks are off, and most people really are a lot like they come off, like a lot. I can't think of any big, maybe big exceptions at all. So we go to a diner, and I tell Matt, I said, this is what I was going to say to you. I was going to say, look, I don't know any Owen that well. He's kind of a big deal. It's really important for me that you don't act the way you normally do and kind of tone it down because you have a tendency of kind of saying things that are really going to blow up and make me look bad, stupid later. And, he's letting you in for free. He doesn't need that. He's under a lot of stress. And Matt was like, "Oh my god," because you can imagine how self-conscious you would be. You would just be a complete crazy person and not be able to talk or anything like that. And another fun thing, so that was a hoot and a half. What I wanted to do also was this Tuesday I'm going to be at Syracuse giving a talk at the university. That's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday I have Kristen Tate on my show, who some of you know from Red Eye and from Fox and all these other things. Oh, and let's talk about what happened today on Twitter, which is still happening, which is I just tweeted out something innocuous, about how Hitler built the Berlin Wall. And the funny thing is, uh, I've unpacked a new kind of trolling, and it's like this. If you're Jack Posobiec or if you're Mike Cernovich, there's a lot of people on the other side who are assuming you are literally mentally disabled, like it completely gone. So when I say something stupid like Hitler built the Berlin Wall, and they retweet it, the people reading that are seeing it who are hate following one of them, and then that's fresh meat for me. And they all chime in and they're like, "Oh my god, you hate about the banging wong." So it's really really fun. It's been going on I don't even know how many hours. And then I had a follow up to one of them where I'm like, "Well, Hitler didn't literally build it himself." And Jack retweeted that one also, and it's been going on and on and on. Um, I think some people don't like it when these things go on for that long because I get a little bit of unfollows, but it's really, really fun, and I really, really enjoy it. Thanks for the tip. The tip jar doesn't tell me I have to go to look at another window to see who's handing it in. Kool-Aider, hey Kool-Aider. Um, so yeah, uh, what I wanted to know is what do you guys like and don't like about my show? Because it's very hard to get any feedback. So I have to kind of judge on my own whether a show does well or not, and that's not a good metric at all. And sometimes I'll have like serious episodes, like with Pat this week, which I had a lot of fun holding his babby at the very beginning. She's very very cute, and at the same time there'll be more goofy ones. And sometimes I'm thinking maybe I should have like two or three guests and have it be more of a panel thing, and I don't know. So, uh, one of the things that drives me crazy in general, I'll read your comments in a second. One of the things that drives me absolutely crazy, like I hate this, is unsolicited advice. And I almost never give people advice because when most people ask for advice, they're either not in a position to receive it or they don't actually want advice, they want validation. There's this great essay called I Won't Read Your Fucking Screenplay. I follow the guy, he unfollowed me, and I don't blame him. And he's just about like, look, I'm a screenwriter. I get paid to read screenplays. You're sending me your work. You're expecting me to do what I get paid to do for free, and you're not experienced enough to be able to perceive this as constructive. You're just going to get very defensive. And one of the things like dealing with literary agents, every literary agent on earth will get a query and they'll be like, this isn't the book for me, and they'll be like, well, screw you, I'm going to make this a bestseller. And that agent would love it if you made a bestseller. It's just like they're not in a position to sell that book. Like not every agent can sell everything. So I almost never give advice. I don't think people are capable of. The more junior you are, the harsher the criticism has to be, and the more hurtful it gets and more discouraging. So it's very very tough. So I hate getting unsolicited advice. When someone on Twitter recently was like, "Oh, these trolls are beneath you. It makes you look unserious." First of all, I'm for low culture. I think low culture is going to save us. So it's not beneath me. And second of all, who are you? And how are you in a position? This is a literal question I ask myself. How are you in a literal position to tell me what, and I hate this phrase, what my brand is? You unless you're someone who works in marketing, I'll be glad to ask you. But if not, shut up. It's obviously working for me somewhat. So that's something that really, really bothers me. That said, by the way, I tried the regular monster today. It was disgusting. That said, I am very interested now to hear the feedback for You're Welcome, what you like and what you don't like. So let me start reading some of these comments. Hi, Michael, you're great. What's your favorite food? Sushi. 2 episodes of You're Welcome a week. It's not up to me. It's okay. Okay, great. The show needs an extra 30 minutes. That is out of my hands. You like the length, okay. Too short. It feels. I don't feel. See, Steven, you say that it feels rushed. Maybe the ending is rushed. Wait, I don't. I don't understand. Feels too focused and too rushed. I feel, and please correct me if I'm wrong. I feel that it's not focused. I kind of have the conversations kind of go in the organic way from my perspective. Okay. I wish I could share your show. Even Ruben had no idea what it was. Huh, that's interesting. Tom Woods hosted your interview. It was delightful. Yeah, I know. This is the other thing that triggers me. This when people, I think the guy got a block. When people use my humor and my catchphrases against me incorrectly. So someone tweeted at me, Tom Woods pirated your episode and put it as an episode of his show. Tom had my permission. This was going to happen. And I said, nope. And the guy goes, honey. The fuck you talking about, honey? That's not how honey is used. So he got a mute, and my eternal condemnation. Your show needs to be on Joe Rogan podcast length. Okay, that would be interesting. Are you getting any Drag Race alum on your show? Thorgy's in Brooklyn, I believe. I met Thorgy. I think Drag Race is over. It's been on CBS Sunday morning. It's Disney. It's over. I generally don't enjoy panels as much as one-on-one. Okay, that's very helpful feedback. Thank you. Uh, okay. What do you think is the best invention ever? I can't even. Concern trolling. Yeah, it's obnoxious as heck. I want Tom Woods to go on Rogan so bad. I don't know what that dynamic would be like between them, between Tom and Joe. I don't know that they would know what to make of each other. It would be, and I like them both. Obviously, I'm very close with Tom. It would be very interesting to see. Isn't that how the podcast with Thaddeus started? I don't know what that means. Advice on what to have for dinner tonight. Poison. Extra 30 minutes, okay. Have Cody Wilson. I've asked Cody repeatedly. Could you do one on your favorite films and why? I don't see. That's the thing. I feel like stuff like that, like what music do you like and what movies you like, is so subjective. Is that something that people are really interested in? Because I find it obnoxious when other people. I feel like it's very self-indulgent. Panel would be nice, not every week. Get Camille on. I've had Camille on. I think he was my second or third guest. Oh, okay. So I've only seen the free episode up on YouTube, but I thought it was great. You're a modern day Charlie Rose. Well, I am a rapist. Okay, that's a good. Yeah, the thing is with panels, you're not gonna get inside someone's head as anywhere near as much, and it's going to be a little bit more generic. Where do you pick up your mannerisms? Are they extensions of your parents' respective culture? I am what I am. A Brooklyn barbecue entrepreneur. Oh, that is such a good idea. Oh, that is such a good idea. So I got my notepad. So we're gonna write down. I have 3 ideas for guests. I have Guy Benson, Nomiki, and Brooklyn barbecue. Oh, that is such a good idea. Thank you so much. I like when you intro with current events. See, that's the other problem. In all fairness, an hour is not a lot of time, and it's rude. I don't know. It's rude to the guest, but if you want to have a good convo with someone one-on-one, an hour flies by. Especially if there's someone who has an expertise in something. So if I open with some monologue, that's like a quarter of the show. It's a situation. It's a situation. I just start having guests on my show, grain of salt, but stick with one guest, okay? So Kristen Tate is like 4'10" or 4'11", so she's a bit taller than me. I might have her in the very low seat, so she's just ahead, or we might have her really high up, so you could see her knees. I don't know. Ryan Holiday was booked on my show, and he had to reschedule. Me and Ryan are good buddies, very good buddies, actually. If Donald Trump agreed to do your show for 2 questions, what would you ask him? I would have to talk about North Korea. I would have to do North Korea. More historians. Okay. See, that's the thing. On Compound, I'm like the cerebral one, which is a nice way of saying the nerdy one. Bring the pin store guy on. Oof. No, I don't know. The pin store is over. It's too mainstream, even though it's in Williamsburg. Would enjoy another episode on book reviews. Okay. That's a normal size notebook. That's very funny. Interview Weave. Oh, gosh. I've met Weave. Have I met Weave? I know a lot of people in common with him. Okay. An occasional panel. Okay. What are some of your essential indie pop albums? Oh, God. Club 8 has a few. We Are Performance has 2. Tweet at me and I'll answer. That's a very good question. You can invite your guest to comment on current events with you. It depends on the guest. I really hate the idea. What I don't like about democracy is the idea that everyone has to have an opinion on everything. I'm very against that. Um, I've already interviewed Cantwell for my book. Are all your favorite albums in the fifth column? I don't know what that means. Vox Day, I asked him to interview for my book. He never replied. I like the show, but it could use more nudity. Okay. I am adorkable. I've heard that before. Kevin Slaughter. Is that like Jesse Slaughter's dad? Isn't he dead? Um, I can't get Gutfeld. He wouldn't do it. I love the free episode, but I can't pay for content when there's so much free content. Yeah, that's very fair. If you could moderate a debate, who would you invite? I mean, I know who I want to see talk, and that's Camille Paglia and Fran Lebowitz. That would be my ultimate. Um, what's H3H3? I don't know what that is. What's your opinion of Belle Sebastian? Not a fan. Um, I don't know who's Doug Casey. I'm blanking on that name. By the way, I've interviewed many people I haven't known personally. The historians I've had, Arthur Herman and Dave Petruzza, I never met them before. So I try to do that a lot. Can you do a short 4chan? I had one. Jay Irwin was the moderator of 4chan. I had him on an early episode. I have not read John Taylor Gatto. Uh, I'm not an expert in Rousseau. What happened to sincerity? It seems everyone nowadays seems to shun it. I think I'm being pretty sincere, and I think that's one of the grossest things about urban progressivism is this sneering at earnestness and sincerity and kind of having fun. It's taken as unserious. What's your squat max? I rep 260. Change the background to the curtains from the Black Lodge. That's actually pretty funny. I don't know who that is, Varg, whoever that is. Um, I've had okay. Switching gears, I don't know about composers. I don't think Ayn Rand's the greatest author. Um, okay, Kevin Slaughter runs the Union of Egoists. He wants your Sterner book. Well, from my cold dead hands. Uh, da, 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 da. Why are you so obsessed with Camille Paglia? What's so great about her? I think she's the most innovative thinker today and for a long time. And so much of my thoughts on culture come from her directly. Would you go on Beauty and the Beta? Do you think I'm a beta? I don't think I'm a beta. At all. What's a good primer book on Hamilton is Chernow. Uh, this is my free YouTube show, people. Uh, Revenge of the Sis. I don't know that. Would you go on Jeopardy? Sure. I so what I'm getting is you guys are pretty happy with the show as it is, which is a huge compliment. So thank you for that. Um, Interview Netanyahu. Yeah. Why not just get Hitler on the phone? Um, would you interview Jared Taylor about his Twitter lawsuit? I'm trying to do in studio. So Jared's in Virginia. I've been to his house, as most of you know, for my book. Uh, Do we tweet a longer show? I guess you would have to tweet Anthony, but Anthony just got suspended from Twitter like 5 minutes ago. I'm not doing Skype. Me and Jim Go talk all the time, though. Ironheart Denim, I'm not familiar with. Thoughts on Dave Matthews Band? Send him to the bottom of the ocean. I'm in the middle of reading. Okay. Is there a defender of postmodernism who you respect? Thad. Michael is Alpha Omega. I don't know what that means. Biggest concerns on our super chats. How that works is I've only now gotten to the point where I have enough views, but they have to approve me for super chats, so I can't do them yet. You can tip if you want, and no pressure whatsoever. Biggest concerns on our shitty college system. I think things are going well because more middle class Americans are viewing college correctly as the enemy. Are you into literary fiction? Absolutely not. Oh, Beauty and the Beta is a podcast. Okay, I thought it was that show. Isn't that a show on Channel 11 where like the beauty queens make over the guy? Beauty and the Geek, I'm thinking. Really enjoyed your episode. I like your welcome. As long as you keep getting guests you find interesting. Okay. I don't know. Skype equals NSA. Okay. When is your book coming out? Later this year, hopefully. Doug Casey's an ANCAP troublemaker. He's a big Donahue interview like your girlfriend. What? Had a big Donahue even if you're like a girlfriend. Oh, okay. What is so great about Julia Louis-Dreyfus? Watch Veep. It's a masterpiece. Are you a member of the patriarchy? Sure, sure. Um, I don't know the Decemberists. I don't know country music. Why is Arthur Schopenhauer one of your favorite philosophers? Because he has the idea, the first one, he's called a pessimist, the idea that the universe is not necessarily inherently good. And he also has his analysis of power, his analysis of how the universe exists. Okay, let's talk about Arthur Schopenhauer for a bit. All right. And I've said this before. No problem saying it again. Oh, God, it's been 20 minutes already. One of the things that drives me crazy about academics, absolutely drives me crazy, is when people are, let's suppose they're a Camus scholar, and they're more interested in what Camus meant and said than in the ideas and their implications. So if I am going to discuss Schopenhauer and someone's like, well, that's not what Schopenhauer really meant, blah, 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 I don't fucking care. It's like if you listen to a good song and it inspires your heart and gets you thinking about something, if that song was actually something else, it's not really relevant. So I might be getting this wrong. So Camus, okay, so Immanuel Kant was the first of the German idealists. Maybe he wasn't the first, but the biggest. And what is meant by idealists in this sense is that reality is at nature an idea. So that's why it's called an idealist. It's very confusing in English. So there's the idea universe, which is the noumenal realm, and the one we see, which is the phenomenal realm. So we can't really see real reality. And as Ayn Rand put it, because we have eyes, we're blind, is how she attacks Kant. So after Kant, there were all these people who Rand made a joke on the Tom Snyder show, all his illegitimate children, but she meant they're bastards. And basically their discussion was, what is this underlying reality actually look like? And most of them were saying truth or beauty or something like that. It was Schopenhauer who said the nature of this ideal reality is will. And he regarded it as this mindless force that's just pushing in every direction all the time. And basically like will in the idealistic in the noumenal world results in like gravity in the phenomenal world, right? So that's how they interplay, and all these other things. It causes us to be envious and blah 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 blah. So and he imported Buddhist ideas by denying will, and it's a very Buddhist idea. By denying our urges, we achieve morality and kind of the sense of serenity. So this idea of how he looks at the reality is how I look at government. So instead of arguing about this tax or transgender bathrooms or, the police, it will always be pushing and striving in whatever direction. It's going to be like the blob trying to get in under the door. So it's always going to have this mindless will to expand in every sense possible. So conservatives especially will get distracted over, the latest issue, or they'll be about Muslims, or it'll be a transgender people, or it used to be gays. It doesn't matter. It's going to be something else. The wheel will always grab to some tool to try to expand itself and its sense of domination over reality, or in the sense of a nation. So that is how to look, from my opinion, at the nature of the state through the Schopenhauer vision of the will. Okay. Let's do this for another 7 minutes. You should have Jonathan Haidt. I've met him a few times. Great guy. You have said Jews are a race. Is Islam a race? What? If you can get David Foster Wallace and Jordan Peterson to debate, I would subscribe instantly. Okay. Are you anarchist because of individual rights or the ineptitude of government? The former. Energy policy. Okay. Are you the real Campbot? No. Sargon of Akkad. Okay. Scott, I was asking the intellectual heavyweight Michael. No, you're okay. Be nice. Okay, hold on. You guys are going too fast. Slow down on me. Thoughts on connected and autonomous vehicles. I love it. Technology is what's going to save us. I'm all in on tech being what's going to save us. Buddhist, okay. Criminally under Underexposed. Could you do IBS? Irritable bowel syndrome? I don't know what that is. Fountainhead is better than Atlas Shrugged. I agree. Um, why do you consider Buckley a villain? I don't even know where to start. Everything about him is terrible. Thoughts on Paul Gottfried? I don't know enough about him. Use YouTube channel to do Skype interviews. Okay. Who is your favorite author? E. Nesbitt. You don't need to have the chat on screen. I do, because if someone does a full screen, they could have it, and it's easier for me. Cats or dogs? It's obviously dogs. What Kim Jong-il story do you find the most interesting? Oh God, I don't even know where to start. The one that he could shrink time. That's the one. That's the one that gets me. Because when I told that to my friend on the phone, I still remember. I can hear her very clearly, and she's like, "Does he mean multitasking?" It was such a hilarious moment. Are you and Schultz a pair? Yes, we're lovers. When are you going on Alex Jones again? Tomorrow. Who is the most overrated thinker today? That is such a good question. Who's the most overrated? I feel like everyone who's a big public thinker still gets plenty of hate. So it's hard to say overrated, because, you know what I mean? Why don't you ever mention economics? Because I don't know enough about it. Tim Pool has been on my show already. Get it together. Is no Skype your choice? It's my choice. Because also I learned this when I was co-authoring books. It's so different when you're in person with somebody, and body language, and make them uncomfortable, and you can hang up on Skype. You can't hang up in person. Thoughts on Anthony's suspension? I think that's terrible. Do you fart blood? Sure. What is your opinion on low IQ individuals? I think you're great, Ben. Have not read much Heinlein. Hamsters or guinea pigs? Guinea pigs, because they make that oink 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 noise. They're really fun. Would you ever write a D&D campaign? No, I don't think so. I believe you said you were born. I was born in Lvov, which is the same city as Mises and Masok were from. Alex Jones doesn't interrupt me at all. Could you do a tour of a ton of places you find interesting in New York for your welcome? Oh, that is such a good idea, to give, like, for people who want to come visit, like, Malice places to go, like a day in New York from a real New Yorker. That is great. Which is worse, CNN or MSNBC? By far CNN. MSNBC has their point of view. They're often on the level, even if you disagree with them. Boxers or briefs? I'm a boxer briefs guy. What's your opinion on Tucker Carlson? I love Tucker. I've been on a few times. You're most proud of Twitter follower backs. Is it Ann? I mean, Coulter might be the biggest name, but I don't know if I'm particularly proud of that, because we're friendly. Gorka's pretty cool because he's such a beast. I'm waiting on Don Jr. That's gonna be pretty cool. Hey Luke, I would like you to go over really bad takes on social media. That's pretty interesting. Is Glenn Greenwald a good leftist? Yeah, that's a great example. There's another doctor I follow, Amir something. The Bernie people are on the level a lot. Any thoughts on Scott Horton? He came for me on Twitter once, so he's dead to me. Zizek's overrated. Salmon pants. They're not salmon at all. If you look them up, they're on my Instagram. Salmon pants is Victor Niederhofer. Hey Ryan, that's pretty funny. Do you give off any verbal or facial cues when you get a question you consider stupid? No, because I use that as an opportunity to fucking slam. So I'm like, you know what? You tell me. I probably do have verbal cues that I use. My favorite pizza topping is ham or bacon. If you could, who would you like to look like? That's a good question. I'd have to think. Who would I want to look like? I don't know, because I don't want to look too waspy. I want you in Legion of Skanks as well. What's a good primer on the current affairs in Russia? I'm not following Russia at all. That New York, yeah. Are you talking Owen Benjamin? Yeah. So I was backstage with him, the whole show. Oh God, this is another one. I'll leave you guys with this thought. So we're after the show. Everyone's at a bar, and uh, all the fans are super cool, like super super cool. I love talking to the fans. I hate using that term because it's not like it's just I love talking to people who like people who I like. You know, people I like Owen, you like Owen. Great, you're probably on the level. So we're at this we're at a bar after, and some guy is telling this long meandering story about he was at the DMZ and he served and he's standing there and there's a wall and the Korean soldier standing with a wall in their face and he asked why, and it turns out they're keeping one eye North Korea, and aren't they dumb? They're taking everything literally, and going on and on. And only since I've started doing television have I realized how rare it is that someone knows how to tell a story correctly and succinctly. And having my own show, it's just like a lot of times it's like, all right, guys, let's move, where's the camera? Let's move this along. And I just said, hey, how's this story like the Korean War? We don't know if it's going to end in our lifetime. And he got ticked. So I tweeted that out. Like, there's two kinds of fans. There's people who like it when I clown them, and those who don't. And I like them both. And he got so pissed, like, blah blah blah, your haircut, blah blah blah. It was really really funny. Um, okay, thoughts on Justin Raimondo. Justin's ill. He is he's got some serious cancer. He's so feisty. I actually got into a Justin in a funny way because I was on Stefan Molyneux's show, and I was just talking about how horrible the North Korean government is. He goes, "Oh, this is just neocon propaganda." I go, "Justin, you're telling me that I'm spreading neocon propaganda?" He goes, "Well, I don't know what you're about, blah, blah, blah." I go, "You don't know what I'm about?" He's like, "Whatever." I'm like, "Uh-huh." So I really hope he gets well. He talks a lot of shit, which I can appreciate. If he wants to talk shit on me, he's earned it. Um, okay, I am going to... Would you be in favor of giving the North Korean leadership amnesty if it meant reunification of Korea? I don't care about reunification. I just want human rights. So whatever it takes. But I think it'd be very hard to get them amnesty. You are so mean. I love it. I'm really mean. Like, you guys have never seen me be really mean. I have not seen the We the Living film from 1942. My worst injury. I've never had a serious injury. So yeah, I have not read The Orphan Master's Son. If you were the devil, what would you do? Why was Anthony banned? What the fuck? Do I look like Jack Dorsey? No, that's a serious question, do I? Okay, I am thoughts on flavored lemonades. Big fan. Big fan. What do you think of Kabbalah? I'm not in a position to discuss it because I'm not a Talmud scholar. Okay, guys, I will see you on Wednesday on my show with Kristen Tate. Thanks for the feedback, and it was very reassuring because I guess you guys are liking what I'm doing, so onward and upward. And I'll see you in Syracuse on Tuesday night. You are still